If you are serious about dairy goats and producing milk, knowing that both of those things begin at birth and the proper way to handle them are absolutely necessary. Today I want to talk about dairy birth, how to do one, and also why it's important. If you are new to goats and intend on milking them twice per day, you want a bottle baby and not one raised by its dam. If you are buying new kids or having kids of your own, it is ideal that the kids and the dam are used to humans and will bond easily to people and are comfortable being touched. Remember, if these goats are meant to be dairy goats or pets or pack goats, they are going to get a lot of close contact with their humans. Especially dairy goats that you intend on having on the table twice per day and hand milking. A goat that has been either raised by a dam or has fed kids learns the kick and walk away behavior as weaning takes place. Other than behavior, on the table and around people, there are several other reasons to milk the dam and bottle feed the baby. A dairy breed of goat has the potential to produce far more milk than her 2 or more kids will drink. We unlock that potential by emptying the udder out twice per day, which stimulates the production of more milk. When feeding takes place between kid and dam, the dam will kick the kid away long before she is out of milk, which triggers a decrease in production. This will decrease the overall amount of milk and also bring the doe closer to the end of her lactation curve. Kids feeding on dams are rude, they have sharp teeth, they frequently injure teats and udders, which makes for hard milking and can ultimately cause teats to lose form. If you've ever received a bottle bump from a hungry baby, you know what I mean. One of the first things you should plan on doing is attending all births. Most of the distress calls we get from new goat people is a birth that happened in the night or while someone was at work and the kid is in trouble in some way. Breeding your dairy goats should be tightly controlled and scheduled, and using a goat birth calculator, you should have a due date. The due dates are rarely exact, but it gets you within a few days. We have had does go 7 days over the limit, but usually no more than 2 or 3. Getting the timing down for these births is tricky and takes a few years to get to know the goats and the signs you're looking for. We have a video on the things to look for when expecting a birth. Check it out. Attending all births will improve your birth rate to near 100%. There are always things we can't do anything about, but for the most part, if you are there and you do these things, your kids are going to have a huge advantage on life right away. If the need arises for rescue, you're there to render aid. So being there is a big number one thing. Since we're not concentrating on the actual event of birthing, but instead on the steps we take immediately after birth, let's start right after Justice's first kid was born. An important part of a dairy birth takes place right here. We do not allow the doe to lick the kids at all. This is critical for both dam and kid. As we go through the ritual of cleaning the newborn ourselves, we're stimulating the kid as the mother would. This gets the kid to move, shake itself, struggle to live a little bit, and at the same time we're getting birthing fluids on our hands and allowing the doe to lick the fluids from our fingers. This is more than a ritual and is actually a method of chemical bonding between dam and offspring. In our case, as I said before, we want both dam and kid to bond with us rather than each other. In this specific birth, Naomi has to manually fray the umbilical. Whenever you have the chance, make sure you have 2 to 3 inches, and that will help you out in the future, as you'll see soon. The umbilical often gets broken during birth, but not always. Not allowing the doe to lick the kid and preventing the chemical bond also makes separating them realistic. But it also gives us the time with the kids to make sure that they get dry, they don't get chilled, and they don't have any fluid in their lungs, and also to identify any other issues. Here, Jen still has another kid coming, so we need to remove the first one at this point. We usually work as a team and have someone else to attend the newborn kids, while someone, usually Naomi, continues with attending the birth. The person attending the kids will continue to dry them and monitor them. At this age, they could fall on their own necks or in any other number of compromising positions, which can be fatal. Remember, by attending these births, we have already eliminated several sources of newborn death. Immediately after birth, the doe will have lost lots of fluids and a large heat source. They really enjoy a bucket of hot water with molasses in it. This will help replace heat, fluids, and provide iron. Now, when you think there are no other kids coming, we have to milk the doe right away. There are some kids eager for their first meal. Kids not getting enough milk fast enough is the number one reason most kids die after birth. The act of milking the doe will also stimulate her to eject the placenta, or a kid if there's another one in there. This is always fun with the first breast like Justice, but Naomi's not a rookie. After you have finished milking the doe of all of that awesome colostrum, it's time to give her a little peace and quiet. This will give her a chance to do things like clean up any fluids and pass the placenta. Don't panic when you see her licking up any and all fluids she can find. This is normal, and it will give her a needed nutritional boost. She will pass her placenta in a series of contractions and more than likely consume that as well. So let's go check on the kids. More than likely that colostrum that we milked out of the dam probably needs to be warmed up. While we wait for that, let's get back to those umbilical cords. We have to get those umbilical cords dipped in iodine. The best way we know to do that is by pouring it into a shot glass. You have to fill it all the way to the top. Now, with the rag or paper towel and your shot glass of iodine, have your friend or teammate hold the kid up just like Naomi is demonstrating. Then take the shot glass and dip the cord into the liquid. Go all the way up till the shot glass rests against the belly. When you take the cup away, have the rag ready. That little sucker can fling iodine in an impressive range and spread. Here we can see why I mentioned before that if you have a choice, leave a couple inches of cord. This one broke off during birth, but we still dipped the entire area. As far as the kids are concerned, the biggest advantage of separation at birth is the ability to make sure they get enough colostrum. We've read several different timelines and amount requirements, but it just comes down to getting the warm colostrum into them as fast as you can. We normally shoot for 8 ounces for the first meal. Sometimes they eat it all in the first setting, which is a very good sign, but sometimes they take a little convincing and several attempts to get the 8 ounces into them. Just keep trying if they refuse at first.
Regular old beer bottle, and these are, they're called lamb nipples. Buy them at feed store. We cut the tops just a little bit more because it just makes it easier for the little ones. Sometimes you gotta try different positions for first bottles. Some you take it easy, some you don't.
Once you get through feeding these little ones for the first time, you can settle into a routine of milking and feeding on a daily basis. Your doe should eject her placenta in 24 to 48 hours, but will continue to discharge fluids for the next 2 weeks or more. Sometimes they seem to be finished after a couple of days, then start back up again several days later. As long as there is no foul odor and the doe seems in good health, this is normal, don't panic. Although they say the doe will be in milk after about 48 hours, it's been our experience that it takes 2 weeks and probably more before the milk actually tastes good. I don't even try until the discharging of fluids is complete and an udder shave has been done. We hope this video has been informative and helpful. We wish you good milk and good health. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. We are American Alpine breeders and breed according to the ADGA Linear Appraisal Program and our own desires for a milking goat. We have goats available each spring, including does in milk, dairy doelings, pack wethers, and just good all-around friendly, happy goats. You can also support us by purchasing our products, link in the description, or you can donate and receive our products via our Patreon, also linked in the description. Happy homesteading, and watch your top knot.